Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today's a special day. So I've gotten permission from a family to clean a headstone. On top of that, I've also got two markers that I have to find. One, I'm pretty sure I know where it is. The other one is going to take a little bit of digging, but it's in the neatest little yard. So where I'm going is Shiloh Methodist Church in Dellrose, Tennessee. It's about an hour and some change, give or take, away from where I live. Now, my wife's grandparents live there, and matter of fact, I think my wife's grandmother's family makes up most of the inhabitants of that particular yard. But I'll kind of have to do some digging on that a little bit later. So the gentleman that I'm looking for passed away in about 1896. Now, the styles of headstones are vastly different now than what they used to be, so you think that wouldn't be hard. There's two cemeteries that I have to dig through, and I think the reason for that is in the early 1900s, Dellrose was pretty much obliterated by a tornado. They called it a cyclone, and if I'm not mistaken, there's actually a grave down there for a man's leg. Now, I'm not sure if that's because he decided to have it amputated for any reason, or if he himself had died and that's the only thing I could find was the leg. But I'm most certain that there's a grave marker down there that says, "Here lies so-and-so's leg, cyclone of," I think it was 1912 or something like that. I'll do a little bit more digging, and I'm sure future Phil will be able to kind of fill us in with a little bit more information on that, probably pretty soon. But yeah, so like I said, I got some driving to do. I've got a couple of batteries I got to charge while I'm doing so. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop blithering on like an idiot. And then we're going to just, next time you guys see me, we'll be at the cemetery, and we'll be able. All right, so we're here at the actual destination that I plan to come to. This is the headstone of my wife's grandparents, Joyce and Nathan. What I do know is, future Phil will kind of fill you in on some more things, but I know they ended up going to Corinth, Mississippi to get married. And I do know that Nathan was cremated, and then he was interred when Joyce passed away in 2011. But like I said, you could see some discoloration on the stone here. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. First thing I really want to do is I want to get some of this loose stuff off. So I'll grab my brush, just kind of come in, take care of most of it. Now this yard isn't as bad as some of the ones I've seen, where everything ends up getting coated in like 16 inches of grass or anything like that. Now what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll actually use the leaf blower to kind of get some more stuff off. But for this side, we're going to do that. I'm going to remove the flowers and just place them back here, just to make sure that I can do what I need to do. Now this is my fancy little unit here. This is the heart washer. Now it's a powered washer, not a pressure washer. It won't blow anything apart. But as you can see, it just kicks it off. It's nothing extreme, but it should do the job for us. So once you get the loose stuff off to begin with, you just want to give the stone a good wash. It's like same principle as washing a car. You don't want to use anything dry, especially if you're about to scrub it. And the D2 solution works better on a wet stone anyway. So we're just going to come over here. We're going to do this. Okay. Now we have our D2 solution. I've already pumped this up quite a bit. And this is the part a lot of people aren't going to like. The fact that the first time you go through with it, you spray it and you let it sit for about 15 minutes to let it do its work. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get that done. Just nice and liberal. And now we wait.
One eternity later.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that we are at that point. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead, hit both sides with another dose of the D2 just to make sure everything's good. And yes, there's a dog up here now. Puppy, disappear, please. All right, and we're gonna come over here, grab the brushes, and now I know the camera isn't gonna pick it up, but the water seriously running off this thing is absolutely ridiculous. All right. And this poor cemetery dog is likely choking to death behind me. Is around because the stone is polished, especially right here. Everything else is etched. The stone is etched right here and here. So how do we? That's going to be a different color for a while. Until the D2 has a chance to work with the weather and over time, it's going to remain that different color. Same thing here. It should pop back in a little bit, probably a week or so. But that's the worst part about this is the fact that it takes time for all this, and I'm going to have to clean the top again. This other side turned out fairly okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it another coat. So things went a little haywire as they often do. I actually got caught up talking to the caretaker of all this because he randomly showed up to kind of check on everything here at the church house and all that. And I'm glad he did because I got some information. So the building that we have here, the church, they don't hold service here any longer. They allow it to be rented out for family reunions, and if you're being interred here, they will allow you to have your funeral here. This cemetery does not require a vault, which I found interesting. But anyway, so the building itself, oh, there's Chicago Dave. This gentleman has Chicago Dave on his headstone. But the building was from the 1890s. In 1909 is when the cyclone came through and demolished a whole bunch of this. It was a 2-story building, but obviously after that they only put back the one. It's been kept up. They've added they've redone the tin roof, preserved and everything. but they added the tin roof. They did the vinyl siding on it, so they updated a few things. But he said that the inside was still as beautiful as ever. Unfortunately, I tried to convince him to let me go inside, and he and his dog Gravy, basically they were on their way out the door, and I kind of missed my chance there. But it was neat to hear, kind of what's going on. That they're still using this facility and people are still being interred here. I mean, even relatively recently. So, next I'm going to show you the other thing that I think is super neat about this particular cemetery. All right, so there's the wonderful little church I was telling you guys about. This is why I'm here. I'm searching for a marker for a gentleman named Peter Moyers. And, well, yeah. This whole thing is absolutely creepy. Okay, so now we've got it turned around. So, like I said, we're looking for Peter Moyers. According to my friend Mr. Smith that I just talked to, there are, now, as you can see here, these are just headstones and footstones. Dude, that squirrel's about to give me a heart attack. But those are just headstones and footstones made out of rock. Same thing here. So the unfortunate fact is Mr. Moyer may be fairly difficult to find. So let's see what we can. So I'm up here at the old yard, and behind me, well, now in front of me, I hear some turkeys calling. And it's really neat. Hold on. I gotta show you guys these things. Okay, so remember, hang on. So up here, there is Story, born in 1842, killed in the cyclone on April 29th in 1909. Probably find a few more. I love these. Like, there's just something about these old. They're not memento mori, I believe is the way you pronounce it. Like, they're not pictures of them after they have deceased, but we're still looking for Mr. Moyer, and I do believe we may be fruitless in that endeavor. Oops, sorry. See, unfortunately, you get things like this where they've toppled over for one reason or another. There's the berries. We got some meeks. There's a little baby back there. There's some more. Yeah, I think Mr. Moyer has alerted us, and that is who we're here for. Apparently that gentleman passed away in 1880 something, 1890. And he may be part of these groups where the stone is just too degraded at the current moment to read. Now, if I got permission to come up here and spray them, do the long haul, we might be all right. Some sanders. I like that, and we're going to go investigate that next. So these are kind of neat. I'm not sure who is interred here. Any marking is pretty much degraded beyond all recognition. Perhaps one of these was Mr. Moyer. We don't know. But this is Mr. John W. Duffett. This is a very impressive monument. Very impressive indeed. Especially in this setting out here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my trip here after I've been in the past where the Confederates are buried and everything, while leaving this beautiful establishment and just kind of enjoying the peace that is out here. There's some dogs barking, there's some turkeys doing what turkeys do, turkeying, I guess. But, you know, I appreciate the opportunity to come out here and learn some more information from Mr. Smith. I was able to trade some information with him. So hopefully in the future for some of these folks like these guys here, like the Bryants that are here behind me, those are not supposed to be black stones. There's stones here that need attention, and he seems on board with making sure that happens. So I kind of gave him the proper way to do it. Maybe it'll go into something for us here. I would really love to be able to maintain some of that up there on the hill, but given the age of the stone and the fact that some of them are already deteriorating, yeah, words. I think I'm going to leave that one to a later date. But I appreciate you guys joining with me. Thanks for coming with me in the middle of nowhere. Have a good rest of your day.